Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. We see precious metals going up. Gold up $10.20 at $1,502. Silver up 26 cents at $17.78. I have an article from Kitco talking about the billionaire in the precious metals market. Eric Sprott has information and silver is going up. This article also talks about some of the fundamental uses that silver brings to the table, and I'm glad that this is coming more into the spotlight because that's what precious metals need. People need to understand that silver, more specifically, has real value in the world and has real potential to make some real money. Most people think of or view silver as just a commodity or some type of just hobby, quote unquote, and it's not a real investment with real money because prices have been so bare. But anytime silver goes up or precious metals go up, people seem to really uncover the truth, and hopefully that sticks. But anyways, this article will be in the description, so let's jump into it. Be ready to be surprised when it comes to the precious metals market, said Eric Sprott, billionaire precious metals investor and chairman of Sprott Money. The world is getting used to gold and silver at their new price levels after a summer rally, and more surprise could soon be in store for the precious metals sector, said the legendary investor during his weekly wrap-up on Friday. We are in pretty good shape for metals doing quite surprising. At the time of writing, December, COMEX gold was trading at $1,487, down 0.45% on the day, and COMEX silver was at $17.57, down 0.02 cents on the day. One of the things working in favor of precious metal sector is a looming shortage of silver. Finally, the truth comes out. Finally, what I've been talking about for all these months is starting to actually unfold. When I made those videos talking about the biggest silver producers, Mexico, Peru, Chile, abandoning silver mines, how this is going to catch up to us and bite us in the butt. It's going to boost prices for silver, but for the everyday world that needs it, it's not going to be looking so pretty. But for us to stack silver, we're going to be getting a pretty penny, to say the least. There is going to be a shortage of silver. We get information from dealers looking for supply and paying premiums, which is almost unheard of. This is so true. This is something that really needs to be coming to light, and I think I'm going to make a two-part video of this, another video afterwards, talking about my real opinion, because I'm going to read this article and go over it, but there's much more to be talked about in this, and all this is happening right now. There's a lot happening right now, and there's a lot of information I'm saying right now that I really need to break down a little deeper. But when I look at the amount of silver going into ETFs, going into India, there's no way that there is not going to be a shortage, Sprott highlighted. On top of that, there is a huge problem happening under the surface. The ongoing bank liquidity crisis, how the Federal Reserve is responding to it. There is something happening underneath the surface where bank illiquidity is encountering a huge problem, and we are not being told. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? The most likely thing is somebody has blown up their derivatives book, and all banks are calling in loans and other banks for fear of the domino effect. The repo market has come under tremendous stress, Sprott said. The problem came visible to investors in mid-September when repo rates surged to close 10%, he added. The fact that they let it happen, the fact that they weren't aware that it was happening, so there's this huge illiquidity situation in the banking business, which they thought they solved, Sprott said. Now, wow, a lot of information, not enough to cover in one video, but right now I really want to talk about the shortage, because that was one of the main things that he mentioned. Now, when you're digging up silver out of the ground, you still have to use oil, you still have to use manpower, and it still is not a very common thing to find. It takes manpower, you have to actually know where to find it from. And it actually comes out of the ground 8 to 1 compared to gold. So silver is not much more common than gold is. Actually, right now they're focusing more on gold mines, mining gold, than they are silver. So silver is actually something that needs to be really looked at. Because when I found out that miners aren't digging any silver out of the ground, bypassing it, finding it only by accident when they're mining gold, lead, and zinc, they are they're putting their money that gold is going to be more profitable. But what happens when silver demand goes up? What happens? We saw a glimpse of this. We saw a glimpse into this world earlier when American Eagles had a shortage. Now, I know there's more to that story, but when we're looking into the world of surplus or supply and demand, a low supply, a high demand shoots the price up. Silver is key in technology. So if we're not being able to supply or fulfill these orders or the demand that these companies need, these tech firms, to build these gadgets for us to use and consume, which the global era of the digital age is coming in. It's not just these richer countries now. Even Africa, India, more, everyone is coming into the internet because gadgets are becoming more inexpensive. They're more affordable, and everyone has iPhones now. Everyone has laptops. They're affordable, and we need to be able to supply these people with them. But what is one of the most important components in these laptops, in these iPhones? Silver, the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity. Oh yeah, did I also mention that scientists actually found a way to strengthen 40% or make silver 40% stronger without losing any electrical conductivity? What does that mean? That means these EVs, electric vehicles, are going to be flourishing with silver. Highly, highly, highly used with a high demand. What does that mean? When the technological era is expanding globally, that means this demand for silver is going to skyrocket. But when the demand skyrockets, what does that also mean? The supply has to skyrocket. But what is happening? The supply is bottoming. The last 7 years, we have been cutting back silver production by the hundreds of millions of ounces. Hundreds of millions. So there's no catching up to do. We can't replace the last 7. We can't go in a time machine and go backwards, and we can't build a time machine to go forwards and dig up all this silver. There's no way we're going to be able to catch up to this amount that's needed. So what does that mean? That means the price is going to shoot up because it's going to become more precious, quote unquote. This is what I'm talking about when the real potential for silver happens. This is why we invest in the precious metals. This is why people need it so bad. And this is why consumers are going to be the producers in times come. That's the best way I can put it. Consumers are going to be the producers because the ones that own the silver are going to be able to set the price, and we're going to be the ones selling it at very high prices to the people that need it, which will be the consumers. So the roles are going to be reversed pretty soon. Just depends on which side of the stick you're on. So anyways, I'm curious what you guys think about this. There's a lot of stuff he said in this, but I'm going to break this down in another video because I've already been 9 minutes talking about one subject, and he talks about several different things. So I'm going to have to talk a little bit about this in another video. I'm obviously going to make the format a little differently, but I definitely have some more stuff to say on all this, especially with the ETFs going into India. All the other stuff he said happening under the surface, the liquidity crisis, how the Federal Reserve is going to respond to it. There's a lot of stuff that he mentioned, but this is a prime example. A billionaire in the precious metals world is talking about the beneficial factors of silver. Maybe people will start listening. Also, silver is approaching $18. At the time that he was saying this, silver was actually down. This was written 2 days ago, and I don't know how much longer before that is when he made this. So it seems like things are actually starting to fall into place. The domino effect. Things are going to start happening sooner than later. It just depends which side of the fence you're on. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. The link to this will be in the description. I highly recommend checking it out. Also, branch off in the world of these articles. There's so much information. There's so many cool things that I cannot cover all myself. So I highly I recommend you guys checking it out. There's also stuff like China's bankers deny abusing dominant oil position in Albania. Gold prices push above $1,500 on chart-based buying. There's so many things going. Gold prices holding above $1,500 following U.S. flash PMI data. So there's other stuff. I can't cover it all. Obviously, I try to. I make 3 videos a day, so I'm trying to cover as much as I can. But a lot of it, there is just too much information. So if you want to be informed, check out these articles. Check out Kitco. That's the best place for a day-to-day, weekly wrap-up or a daily wrap-up on the precious metals world. This is the main place I go to. I obviously also go to like Seeking Alpha and some other places as well. There's a lot of different places that have some great information that will update you on a day-to-day basis, but also subscribing to channels like this is just as important, where you can get some context behind the scene and I can share my opinion and perspective on the matter as well. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new because I do post daily videos. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys soon. Peace.